Hello, fellow knights and warriors. Today I will try to record a playthrough of the Norman Saga, and I decided to take the first scenario from the Guiscard game, titled An Evening of Civitate. Okay, sorry. And this is a small battle between a group of German warriors and Normans. Germans are split into two separate groups. One of them, a group of German knights, starts on the hill. This hill is covered with overlay because normally we have a Byzantine tower surrounded by the stockade here, but this overlay covers it completely, and here we have a clear terrain with some trees and scrubs. And they are set up anywhere on this hill. Next, we have their rescue party, which starts on this lagoon board, which contains a couple of knights supplied by the group of urban militia. And Normans, they have a big group of their knights along with the group of their Slavonic allies. And now, to win the game, Normans have to kill as many of these knights on the hill as possible. The more they will be dead, the bigger chance for Normans to win. And when it comes to Germans, well, they have to save them. So this is pretty easy and straightforward scenario. It is also said that this scenario should be played with rules sections from 1 to 6. So this means that you are not going to use charge and counter-charge rules in this part of the game. So no charges and counter-charges in this scenario. Of course, nothing stops you from using these rules in your place to make the game a bit different and maybe even more interesting, but notice that basically this scenario should be played without these rules. So, how to set up? First, you are setting up all your German knights on this hill, and as like you see, I did it in the way they will use the maximum of terrain protection when they will be attacked by Normans. Next, you are setting up your Normans on this board. So I set the main body of my knights here, so they will be able to stop the upcoming rescue party. I gave them 3 Slavonic warriors to protect this flank, and the rest of the knights, along with Slavs, are going to attack the hill, hoping they will use their power and the lances to take care of these knights. And when it comes to the rest of the group, I mean the rescue party, they are entering from the lagoon board, and they can be set up anywhere. I put them as close to the board's edge as possible, so they will be able to engage Normans in the combat, maybe kill some of them, and make their way up to the hill, while their militia allies are setting up here and there. So they will try to move through the flanks. And we will see how it is going to be. I am not certain about it. I played this scenario before, but I am recording my playthrough for the first time, so this is quite a unique experience. I hope you will enjoy, and it will help you to learn something about this game. Okay, so now we can start. This scenario is going to be 12 turns long, and the Germans and their allies are going to move first. I am not sure if it will take full 12 turns, maybe it will be shorter, we will see. So, Germans have no missile warriors, so we can skip offensive fire phase, and we can go right into the movement phase. So, let's carry on our movement. They are simply moving 1 hex to engage these Normans in combat, because that's what they want. And now there are foot warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can move here, but this would require for me to take infiltration test. I will take this risk. Let's see. This is 4, so I passed, because none of them is armored, none of them is wounded, so I can move here. Now him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I moved on the back hexes of the mounted warrior, so I don't have to take infiltration test on these hexes. You take infiltration test when you are passing through the hexes next to the mounted warriors, only if you are moving through the front hexes. So that's all. And when it comes to these knights, do I want to move them? They are defending, so they don't have to make much of movement, and I wonder if I should make my movement. Let me check. Here we have rocks. They cost 4 movement points, so I think that I might actually try to my luck with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I will try to attack this Slavonic Lancer. He is a missile warrior, yes, but you can use lances as the offensive weapon only, so he cannot throw his lance at them when they are moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be all. And well, this concludes my movement. Let's go to combat, because we have some combat to resolve. First here, 9 and 9, this is 18, versus 6. This is going to be 12. So let's go. We are fighting against Leg Warrior. So this is 9, 12, and there is 2 versus 1. So we have +1 column shift, so it is 13, 20. Let's make a roll. This is 6 in the 13, 20. This is D. D. One defender stunned. So he is stunned. Let's decrease him. And now they can move with the half of their movement point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's their advance after combat. Next, here, these 2 German knights are attacking this Slavonic warrior. They have 30 versus 6. So it will be 24, 21, 30. There is 2 versus 1, so it will be 31, 50. But notice that one of the German warriors are on the slope. This is unfavorable terrain, so they get -1. So we are going back into 21, 30 column. Let's make a roll. This is 5 in the 21, 30. This is E. 1 defender wounded. So this dude is decreased to the wounded status. Okay, these are all attacks versus Leg Warriors. So now we have to resolve our horse combat. So first here, 22 versus 14. So this is 14, this is 8. We'll be using combat against mounted opponent and 5/8 column +1, because notice that all these mounted warriors are wearing armors. So this will be 8 and +1. Ooh, 11. This is nothing. So first combat and no effect. Next here, 21 versus 14. This is 7. So the same column. 5/8 and +1, 8. In the 5/8, nothing. So the combat goes on. Now here, 24 versus 12. So this is 12. So this is 9, 12 column now. And 6 because of the armor. This is C. Finally some effect. All defenders retreat 1 hex. So he retreats 1 hex and he follows him. He cannot move anymore because all the hexes are occupied by enemies. Next here, 22 versus 13. This is 9. So it will be 9, 12. 7 plus 1 because of the armor, it is 8. So this is B. All attackers retreat 1 hex. So he has to retreat 1 hex. And now he makes a pursuit. 24 versus 12. This is 12. So it's 9, 12. And 6 in the 9, 12. This is C. One rider stunned. Sorry. One defender retreats 1 hex. Okay. So all defenders retreats 1 hex. So he has to retreat 1 hex and he pursues. 22 versus 13. It is 9. So 9, 12 plus 1. This is 10. No effect. And the last horse combat. This is 24 versus 14. So it's 10. So 9, 12. 6. This is C. All defenders retreat 1 hex. So this concludes the first combat. As you can see, well, situation is not very clear. Some riders were forced to step back. Some the attackers have to step back. There were no significant losses among any of these mounted warriors. So I think the situation will change a bit in the next turns. And a good thing is that our warriors are making their way up to the hill, so they will be able to help their knights who are trying to get rid of some of these Slavonic lancers. So that should be all when it comes to the German actions, and now we will take care of the Normans. So let's carry on with Normans, and they can perform their offensive fire. They have a couple of warriors that can do so, because all these Slavs here are armed with lances, so they can perform offensive fire. Well, he cannot. Why? Because he's adjacent to the enemy warriors, and you cannot fire when you are adjacent to enemies, so no offensive fire for him. But these two dudes can perform their offensive fire, and they are going to do so. And they are aiming at these Germans here. They are 2 hexes range from them. This means that they don't have to roll for impact hex. This is pretty good. So they are simply tossing their javelins on them. There is a slope between them, yes, but they are in the same distance from the slope, so there is no issue. They can still throw their javelins up the slope. If their target will be further from the slope than they wouldn't be able to fire at them, because they wouldn't be able to see them. But so far they can see them perfectly, so they are tossing their lances on them. So let's start with him. He's tossing his lance of this German warrior. Let's go to the table and see. We are making a missile against infantry with a lance. Enemy is in armor. This means that we will have to add +1 to our die roll. And let's make a roll. This is 5 plus 1. This is 6. 6 in the lance. Enemy is in the clear terrain, so this is A. A. Offensive fire. Character retreats 2 hexes immediately. So 1, 2. And now he used his lance. This means that he has to be marked with lance marker. This means that he cannot fire his lances anymore. And now him. He is doing the same thing here. So let's go. And let's see if he will be... No, 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus. This is nothing. So he missed and lost his opportunity to use his lance, and he won't be able to fire his lance again. Too bad. Alright, so now we can make a movement with our Normans. They are moving here, they are going to attack this hill. Now him. He is changing his facing and moves like that. Will be supported by this Slav. Now he is going to help his comrade. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now them. These Slavs have a problem because enemy broke through their positions, or rather moved around them. So they will try to attack this Domenico. And when it comes to mounted Normans, well, they have a little options. They have to fight against these German mounted warriors, hoping they will be able to kill some of them. We will see how it goes. So that's all for the Normans movement, and now let's resolve their attacks. We are starting here. We have 52 versus 10, so it will be 42. That's pretty good. It is 3150, and now there is 2 of them, but they are attacking up the slope. This means that both shifts are nullifying each other. Enemy is in armor, so we have to add +1, so we have 8. In the 3150, this is D. 1 defender stunned. So this German warrior is stunned, and now we can move up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And when it comes to him, 1, 2, and 3. This is his movement. Now them. They are attacking this Leopold with 24 and 10, so it will be 34 versus 12. So it's 22. Let's see. This is 21 TT. We get 1 column shift because of the numerical advantage, and -1 because of the terrain, so it's going to be still 21 TT. And 10. Oh, this is B. And B, 1 attacker retreats 1 hex. So we have to retreat with one of our warrior. Let it be him. He moves back. Now these 2 Slavs, they have 13 versus 11, so it's just 2. No good. That's just 2. But they have numerical advantage, so they have 1 shift into 5, 8. This is 9 + 1, so it's 10. Ooh, no effect. That's bad. Now these 2 Slavs are attacking him. 15 versus 6. 9, 9, 12, +1 because of 2 versus 1. A7 in the 1320. This is C. All defenders retreat 1 hex. And they are moving 1, 2, sorry, nope, 1 and 1, 2, 3. This should be their movement, and now mounted combat. 25 versus 9. 25 versus 9, this is 16. So 1320. 8. This is C. All defenders retreat 1 hex. 25 versus 11. 14. 1320. 6. This is D. 1 rider stunned and dismounted. Okay, so this is Dietrich. He is German. I think he, or no, Lombard, let me check. No, he's German. And now I need his food version. And he is stunned. Okay. Now 22 versus 12, this is 10, so 9, 12. And 2, this is F. One rider wounded, so he is wounded. 24 versus 11, this is 13, so 13, 20. Again 1, so +1 because of the armor, it's 2. So he's also wounded. (23 versus 12), it's 11, so 13, 20, and 8. This is C. All defenders retreat 1 hex. But noticed that he retreats through the his front hex, but since he was involved in combat, we don't have to make a roll for infiltration, because if character was involved in combat in same phase, you don't have to use him for infiltration tests. Now here, 24 versus 9, this is going to be 15, so 31, 20, and 10, nothing. And finally 25 versus 11, this is 14, so 31, 20 again, and 7, this is C. All defenders retreat 1 hex. So this concludes all the Norman attacks. Yes, this concludes all the Norman attacks, and now we can wake all our stunned Normans and their allies. So he is back to his good health, and these dudes are stunned, so we cannot. They will have to wait until their own wake up phase to get up on their foot. So this concludes all the Norman actions in this turn, and this covers the first turn of the game. As you can see, Normans are doing, well, slightly better when it comes to the mounted combat, while here these knights aren't doing very bad. I think they are doing quite fine while defending their hill. Let's carry on with turn 2 then, and Germans are first to go. Can they fire anywhere during their offensive fire phase? I don't think so. Well, let's see. These guys, I need to check if they are Lancers. Here, Germans, no. Lombards, well, this dude is Lancer. So I believe they have such guys with such icon. Well, yes, there is one here and one there. But he is adjacent to the enemy, so he cannot use his lance. And he can, but he's pretty far from this Norman warrior, so this would be... I believe he has a little chance to actually score a hit on him. So no missile combat for Germans and their allies. So let's go to the movement phase. Okay. Well, this militia is trying to help these knights. So I think I need to move them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they will surround these Slavs here and get rid of them. And he... He's all alone versus 3, so this would be a very bad idea to hold him here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's make a massive attack here versus against them, hoping we'll be able to kill some of them. Now here on the hill the situation is a bit more complicated. I wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let them try to get rid of this knight. He needs to protect himself all alone. Well, this guy will probably wake up sooner or later and will help him. Okay. Now them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This should be all. And now this horse combat, well, little we can do. We have to fight, hoping that we'll be able to kick some Normans off their horses. So that should be all when it comes to movement phase, and let's go to combat phase. Let's start with these leg warriors here, and now they are attacking Ranulf. They have 28 versus 12, so this is 16. We are fighting versus mounted opponent, and we have leg warriors, so we don't benefit from having 2 versus 1, so we will be using 1320 column plus 1 because of the armor 8. This is C. And C, all defenders retreat 1 hex. A little will do. So let's move him like that. Okay, and they will move like that, trying to get him away from the others. Now they are attacking him, and 8 and 16, so it's 24 versus 7. This is 17, and he is on the slope, and slope is disadvantageous terrain, yes, so we have -1. That's good. So this is 17, 13, 20, plus 1 because of numerical advantage, and plus 1 because of the terrain, so it's 30, 31, 50. And 3 because he wears no armor. This is F. 1 defender killed, so he dies. Oh, wrong. And we can remove this lance marker, and he goes on this hex. Okay, now our leg warriors. First, these 2 knights are attacking this wounded Slavonic warrior. They have 14 and 9, so it will be 23 versus 3, so it is 20. This is 1320, and now he is on the slope, so this is minus. They are 2 versus 1, so this is plus. So these modifiers nullify each other, so this will be still 1320. And 8 in the 1320, this is C, so he has to retreat 1 hex. And now, can he? Nope. Because all the hexes are occupied by enemies, so he has to be wounded. And because of that he is dead. He cannot retreat here, because he has to move away from the attackers. And now him. 8, 17, 20, 33. 33 versus 7, it will be 26. So it's going to be 21 30, plus 1 because of the attacker's numerical advantage, 31 50. 7 in the 31 50, is D. This means that he is stunned, right? He is stunned. Okay. So that's all when it comes to our foot warriors. Let's go to our mounted warriors. Now him. I don't want him to fight because he's on the slope, so this will be a disadvantageous terrain for him. Now he. Fighting here will be probably hard because this is 12 versus 12. It is 0. Well, I will take my risk. This is 5 plus 1 because of the armor, so this is 6, and 6 in the column of 0, this is B. All attackers retreat 1 hex. So he retreats, he follows. 11 versus 13, no, I'm not going to attack, but they will try to attack him together. So they have 35 versus 13. So it is 22 and plus 1 because of the numerical advantage. 31, 50, 5. This is F. 1 rider wounded. So he is wounded. Now they are going to attack separately. 22 versus 13, this is 9. 5 in 9 is D. 1 rider stunned and dismounted. Oh, sorry, but it was 6 because of the armor. So this was C. And C, all defenders retreat 1 hex. And now 24 versus 14, this is 10. And 7 in the 10. This is C, so defender retreats 1 hex. And now we can wake up our stunned warriors. So he's back to his senses, and same goes to him. And this covers German actions in the turn 2. It's time for Normans to go, and they have no missile units that can perform a missile combat. No, they cannot. So all they need is to try to do some normal combat. Well, let me check. I am not sure if this Norman knight is not available to throw his lance. Normans, no. Only such warrior with such icon can throw his lance. So he is not like him, so no, he cannot. Okay, so let's go and see what Normans can do when it comes to their movement. I think I will move like that to stop him from joining the fray. He will fight with him, he will fight here, and well, our Slavs are doing very, very bad here. So they need help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Help is coming. Hold on, guys. Well, at last one guy because the other one is dead. And Normans here. They are still engaged in the fierce battles versus mounted Germans. But I think that I might have an option to kill this horse. This looks like a tempting idea, don't you think? Killing horse means that this guy wouldn't be able to mount it. And, well, that's good. So, that's all when it comes to move, and let's go and resolve our attacks. So, 26 versus 12, this is 14. Now this is 1320. 8 because of the armor. This is C. So he has to retreat 1 hex. I move there. Now he attacks this Lombard. 24 versus 6, this is 18. So 1320 and 3. This is E. 1 defender wounded. So do not mess with Normans or the Normans will mess with you. Decrease and decrease again. He attacked him. 26 versus 9. So this is 17 and 7. It is C. All defenders retreat. So he has to retreat 1 hex. He moves there. And now they are all ganging up on Fabio. 7, 16, 24 versus 6. This gives us 18. Oh, this is 10. So this is 16 plus 1. Because of the numerical advantage, it is B. All attackers, 1 attacker retreats 1 hex. Ooh, our Slavs are not doing very well. And mounted combat. 25 versus 9. This is 6. In the 9-12. This is C. All defenders retreats 1 hex. Now he attacks this poor horse. So 3, I already know what it means. The horse is killed. And I can occupy the vacant hex. Now here, 22 versus 6. This is 16 and 10. Nothing. They are joining together to attack him. 15 and 23. So this is 38 versus 12. So this is 26. And 3. This is G. 1 rider wounded and dismounted horse killed. Oh, wow. So this is Lombard Knight. I need to find him. And Archais. He's on foot now. His horse is killed. And he is stunned. So we need to place him adjacent to his killed horse. And now, because horse was killed, I can move here. I can move also. I want to stay here because this warrior is engaged in combat, so he cannot make me to undergo infiltration check. Now 24 versus 9 is 16, and 10 in the 16. I believe this is nothing. Yeah, this is nothing. And 25 versus 11. This is 14. And 3, oh, this sounds good. This is F. 1 rider wounded. So Normans are definitely doing better in the horse combat than Germans. Okay, now we can wake up our stunned friend, and this concludes normal actions in the turn 2. So we are starting turn 3, and I think that we cannot say who is going to win for now, because both sides are doing, well, not bad. Let's go with Germans. Can they fire anywhere? I don't think so. I think that all their warriors that can perform missile fire are adjacent to the enemies, so no missile fire for them. And let's go to movement then. I will start with this German. He wants to go here, but if he wants to do so, does he needs to take infiltration check? No, because he moves just one hex. If he would move, this is his only movement, so he's safe to make such a movement. He goes there, and this guy is surrounded by the enemy. That's good. That's good. Now he will have to fight all by himself, but I think he will make it. Now here, our knights will try to get this guy off his horse. Let's hope they will make it. And they will try to do the same with this horseman. This Lombard is wounded, so this is bad for him. I wonder if he can get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, that will not do any good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how he moves. And our mounted warriors, well, some of them are actually dismounted. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Somewhere else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, too far. He goes there, and when it comes to the others, well, not much of movement. Nope. So that's all, and now let's resolve the attacks. We start here with these two guys are attacking him. I wonder if I can include him. Well, this is not a very good idea. Why? Because he's on the slope. So adding him to this attack will give me disadvantage. So I'm not going to use him. And they are going to attack all by themselves. They have 30 versus 7. So it's 23. So it's 21 TT and plus 1 because of the 2 versus 1. This is 2. So he is dead. We can remove this lance marker. Okay. And I can take this hex. Now here. Wait a moment. There. Well, these two Lombards might attack Vlatko. They have 18 versus 7. 18 versus 7 will be 11, and we got 7 plus 1 because of the numerical advantage. It will be C. All defenders retreats 1 hex. So Vlatko is forced to retreat, and he goes there. Now 28 versus 12. This is 16. Oh wow, 1. Fantastic. So this is 1 and 2 because of the armor. This is G. 1 rider wounded and dismounted, horse killed. Okay, so this is Ranulf. his Norman knight. We need him on foot and wounded. And his horse is dead. And now they can move up to 3 hexes. 1, 2, and 1. And here, these 2 knights are attacking Arthur, and I think I will include this Lombard again as well. This is 24, and 24 plus 15 will be 39. 39 versus 13, it will be 26. We have 26, but we get 1 column shift because of number of terrain, so it's 21 30, and this moves into 13 20. And 4, it is F. 1 rider wounded. Not bad. He is wounded. Okay. And now mounted warriors. He's not going to fight because he's on the slope, so it will be difficult for him to gain any advantage against enemies. Now they both are attacking him. 12 and 11, this is 23 versus 7, so this is 16 and 11, so it's 10 in the 16, and plus 1 because of the numerical advantage, so 21 30, and 10 it is B. All attackers retreat 1 hex. Oof, that's bad. He moves here and he goes there, and since Drogon wasn't actually involved in any combat, he can do he forces him to undergo the infiltration check. It is 7, no good. Let's go to the infiltration check, and now both are riders, so this is -1 and +1, and our warrior is armored, so we get -1, and he was wounded, I believe. Yes, he was wounded, so this is +2. So -1 and +2, it will be +1, so it's 8. Character wounded. And since he was already wounded, this means that he is dead. What was his name? Let me check. Hugo. So he is a German knight. And he is dead. His horse is still alive, but Hugo himself is dead. That was very bad. Okay, and now they both are attacking Onfroy. So they have 36 versus 13. So it's 23. And +1 because of numerical advantage. This is 2. So it's H. 1 rider killed and dismounted, horse unarmed. Huh, interesting. So Onfroy is killed. Norman knight Onfroy is dead. So decrease him. But his horse is still alive. So if there will be anyone here, he will be able to mount this horse. So this covers all the attacks of Germans. I think the situation is still not clear, but this time Germans did much better. They managed to kill this knight and forced him off his horse. They killed these Slavs there, but the more Slavs are around. So the situation is still not particularly clean and might change in the next turns. Okay, Normans. And no offensive fire for them because all the Norman warriors who could fire are already dead. So no missile fire, so let's go to the movement of Normans and their allies. Well, our Slavs. 1, 2, 3, and 2. And here, that's all for Slavs. Only 3 of them remains. Now, these knights on the hill are in a very problematic situation. This one is wounded, this one is wounded as well. That's pretty bad. I think that the best thing I can do now is to try to fight here, hoping that these 2 knights will be able to do something around. And now the battlefield of our mounted warriors. I think I can start to move some of them out. So he spends his 4 movement points, sorry, to simply change his facing completely onto this hex. So it is 4, and now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hope they will be able to do their job without him. He moves there, and he remains on this hex. Oh, I forgot to bring him back to his senses in the previous turn. So, that's all. And now, let's go and resolve our attacks. Let's start on the hill. He is not going to attack them. I think this makes no sense with his small strength attack, but our Slavs are going to do so. So 7 plus 9, this is 16. 16 versus 7, it is 9. So this is going to be 9, 12, plus 1 because of the numerical advantage, and 1. This is 13, 20, and F. This means that our target is dead. So he was killed instantly. He goes there, and he remains here. Now they are attacking him. 22. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Hahaha. This is my Slavic warrior, so I cannot I cannot attack this Lombard with my knight. I hadn't enough movement points to move onto this hex. Too bad. So 8 versus 3, so it's 5. And 8 in the 5-8. This is A. Oh, that's bad. 1 attacker wounded. Oh my. So my Slav is wounded. Here, these 2 mounted warriors attacks this Lombard. 16 and 24, so they have 50. And 5. This is 50 and plus 1 because of the numerical advantage, and plus 1 because enemy of the slope. So this is 5. This is F. He is dead. Okay, I cannot attack him because he's on the tree, and mounted warriors cannot fight versus characters that are on the 3 hexes. No good. And he moves on this. No, no. You just stay. Why can't he just... Whoa. Looks like it is some kind of bug. Yeah. Too bad. Okay, let him stay there. I will move him. Oh, it's because of this overlay, I believe. I will move him further. Now, here. These two warriors are fighting versus him. They have 25 and 25, so this is 50 versus 9. It is 41 and 9. We get one column shift, so it's 51-70, and one column shift because of the terrain, so it's 71 and 19, and it was 9. It is E. One rider stunned and dismounted, horse killed. So this Lombard knight is stunned and dismounted. And his core horse is killed. Go down. I will take this hex. Next, he attacks him, so it's 15 versus 6, so it's 9 and 10. 9 and 10, this is nothing. And now he attacks him, so it's 23 versus 9, so it is 14 and 11 in the 14, this is nothing. And 25 versus 6, this is 19. Oh, again a bad roll. This is again nothing. So this concludes all the attacks of Normans. These weren't very effective, actually. This could be better. We managed to kill him. Well, that's a little success. So that should be all when it comes to the Norman attacks, and that's the end of the turn 3.